This seems to be an issue that sticks, at least with a number of people. What is Sharia law, and what do you think people are afraid of? Help explain that phenomenon, if you would.
So first, Sharia means law. So technically, when we say Sharia law, you're saying law, but anyway. So I actually got caught in a controversy about this, which is why I'm happy to answer this question. At the same time, 8 years ago, when the Oklahoma state legislature was trying to ban Sharia, this really monstrous thing, I was in New York City, and we were basically we had a social media campaign trying to basically explain what Sharia was. And so I got into controversy at the Women's March, because then these trolls went back 8 years ago and pulled out tweets out of context and sequence, because that's what they do. And I don't care, it's fine, because I still stand by all the tweets that I put out. But anyway, what's important to understand about Sharia is that Sharia basically is the pathway for Muslims to live out their lives, right? So it's very similar to halakha, and for those who are Jews, and similar to canon law. The interesting thing is that the Islamophobia industry in this country has been really good for the past 16 years in trying to define what Sharia is. So how do people figure out what Sharia is? They go online, they Google an image, an infographic shows up, and it tells you Sharia law is stoning women, Sharia law is all these really bad, horrible things, right? It's ahistorical, it takes things and quotes from the Quran out of context. And in fact, as someone who is a doctorate of Islamic studies, we can argue the same things that people will say about Sharia, we can say about the Bible, like things that are found in the Torah or the Bible or the Quran is pretty similar. But this constant obsession with Islam is what really bothers me. So Sharia is a very simple thing. It's the ways that we get married. It's the way that we divide inheritance when people in our family pass away. It's how we arbitrate all divorces, things like that. It's about praying 5 times a day. It's about fasting 30 days. It's all kinds of, almost like rules and regulations of like how to be a Muslim. Not everybody follows all of them, but the point is, that's what it is. And I want to just give a quick story that relates to Sharia to another word that's really scary to people. Like literally when people hear this word, like their knees shake. Sharia is one of them. The other word is jihad. I know everyone's like, yup. And by the way, there are Muslims named Jihad, and that really, I got a special soft spot for those people in my heart. So let me tell you a really quick story. So the word jihad translates to struggle. It could be all kinds of struggle, but the actual word translates to struggle. I think as an Arabic speaker, I should be the one to define what jihad means and not Google, which is not Arabic, right? Just making that clear. Anyway, I went to a big Muslim convention just this past year. And I went to a Muslim banquet. I did a keynote speech, and I was trying to motivate these Muslims to, organize in the resistance. And I said to them that there was a story where a man asked our beloved Prophet Muhammad, may peace and blessings be upon him, what is the best form of jihad or struggle? And then our beloved Prophet Muhammad, may peace and blessings be upon him, responded and said, the best form of jihad or struggle is a word of truth to a tyrannical ruler. That's it, right? Right? That's what happened. Everybody clapped. It was great. Chatted with some folks, then I went home. The next day I wake up and I'm trending on Twitter. And Donald Trump Jr., the son, now this is how crazy this is now, listen to me here. The son of the President of the United States of America was calling for my arrest for treason, for calling for a holy war against the President of the United States of America. I swear to God, go Google it, I'm telling you, it's horrible. Every celebrity, alt-right personality in America was going after me online. I was getting death threats. People were doxing my home address. It was crazy. The reason why I share that story is because I had a choice to make at that moment. There were people in my community that were so afraid for me that they actually called me and said, Sister Linda, you gotta be careful. You can't be just saying these kinds of things. And I listen to these people because they have my well-being, they have my best interest at heart, and I know that. They're good people inside. But then I decided to do something. And what I decided to do is I decided to double down. And I called the Washington Post and I said, look, I got some stuff to say. They were like, write whatever you need to write. Let's go with this. So I wrote an op-ed for the Washington Post, go read it. And it was about jihad. The reason why I'm telling you this is because I want you all, especially those in the room who are non-Muslim. We as Muslims do not tell Jews how to practice their religion in this country. We do not tell Christians how to practice their religion, or Sikhs, or Buddhists, or anybody else from any other faith tradition. And in that moment, I decided, why should I allow anybody else to define how I choose to practice my religion freely, as long as I am not engaging in violence or inciting violence against any communities? And why will I allow people who are clearly anti-Muslim to define my religion for me? How is someone who's anti-Muslim going to define what Sharia is, or what Jihad is, or what other concepts in Islam are? For me, I drew a line. And I said, you know what? It's not happening on my watch. And I'm going to defend my right in this country to be a full Muslim. And I also have the Council on American Islamic Relations who's going to defend my right to be a full Muslim in these United States of America. So if there are questions that you have about Islam, if there are things, I don't want you to be shy. I don't want you to feel like questions are inappropriate. I love when people ask me questions about Islam. Is it true this? Is it true that? What do you think about this? That's cool. If you want to know about Islam, it might make sense for you to ask a Muslim. That's my advice.